Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. We're going to shift gears from college to NFL action. We're going to preview the NFC East. Guys, two questions. Washington Redskins, is Kirk Cousins going to have the kind of year that he had last year? And can Tony Romo stay healthy for an entire season? Because that's pretty much, by most people's opinion, going to determine the NFC East. Not a lot of people giving the Giants in Philadelphia any thoughts. Brian, what do you think?
Well, I do think Philadelphia is a question mark right now. We need to find out what's going to happen there. But yeah, you're right. If you can give me Tony Romo at this point is going to play all season, I think Dallas wins. Now, I don't think anybody from this division goes to the Super Bowl or anything, but I think Dallas will be the team to beat. Washington's got so much money in that offense this year. They have weapons all over the place. So I expect him to have another great year. Problem is bringing in Norman going to be enough defensively to improve that defense? They may turn into what Philadelphia was a few years ago, where they scored so quick and the defense gives up a lot of points.
Yeah, the defense definitely has some problems and holes to fill. On the flip side, we're talking about Dallas, they're going to make an effort to run the football more. I think Ezekiel Elliott's going to be a star in the NFL. I know running backs are not the focus point as they used to be in offenses in the NFL, but with that offensive line and trying to protect Tony Romo, I think he's going to have a good year. And let's face it, last year, Dallas really didn't have a passing game, and defenses were keen to stop the run against Dallas and almost dare them to throw the football. And they had quarterbacks that it was hard to watch sometimes last year. So I think that this team is going to be better, and it's going to help their defense simply because the Dallas offense is going to be on the field longer. I think they're going to have more sustained drives, which will give them the time of possession, which is going to keep the defense off the field some, and it'll make them better. So, Tony, to me, Dallas is the team to beat, like you said, if he can stay healthy. But for me, of the other teams, Preston, I think the Giants are the team that can take the biggest step up. And if you look last year, we know, Tom Coughlin's out now. Bob McAdoo gets the reins. A lot of the games last year, I don't know a team that played more close games than the Giants did last year. They had 8 games decided by 6 points or less last year, and some of those losses people put on Coughlin with clock management.
I think the Ravens, didn't they set some record for like 14 or 15 games by 8 points or less or something?
Yes.
But, so other than the Ravens, you're right, though. The Giants played a lot of close games. They're exactly my take is kind of what you guys have touched on. If Romo's healthy all year, they can run the ball well, and which kind of helps his health probably if they're not throwing as often. They're the team to beat. If not, I like the Giants. I think for the value that you're getting on a division price, their season wins is at 7.5. I think they're like 40 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. I think all those might be pretty good bets. Coughlin going, kind of a breath of fresh air there for New York Giants fans and the players and the coaching staff. And McAdoo's been there as the offensive coordinator, who obviously has done a pretty good job with Eli and their offense the last few years. So I don't think really losing out on much, losing Coughlin. If anything, the in-game managing stuff, which some of those games last year, there was a couple that just broke Twitter. People didn't know what was going on, and they found ways to lose games they shouldn't. That'll change. They're definitely talented. I think I'm a big Chip Kelly believer. I think what he did, the Eagles kind of were talking about off camera with LSU or SEC teams being so entitled to a championship, so they fire coaches like Les Miles. Eagles, they were happy with 10-win seasons with Chip Kelly, and they didn't make the playoffs every year, but I think that's a big deal. I think they're going to be dropping back, taking a step back. I don't know if Washington will be as good. Kirk Cousins kind of probably peaked last year. Got his contract now, I believe, too. Who knows how he responds to that. So the Giants are kind of that team that's being overlooked, that definitely has the talent. It's been there before, and so they're kind of my team I think is the one to bet on if I made a play in the division.
Yeah, I like the Giants. That's my sleeper in the division. The question, that defense, you want to talk about, Washington having problems on defense. The Giant defense
Washington plays the Giants, take the over, and one of the reasons why the Giants came so many games with that 8 points, they would score and they couldn't stop the opposition. And I think we see the same thing again from them this year.
I remember sitting in a bar watching. I had the Giants. I ended up getting a push on the game, and that was the happiest push I ever got. Was the Giants last year against the Saints, the 52-49 game.
Yeah.
I was wore out watching the game. It was just up and down, and they couldn't hold a lead. It was ridiculous. But I think they have the best upside as far as if you're looking for value. If you want to go chalk, it's Dallas. If you want value, I think it's the Giants. And speaking of value, hey guys, if you're new to Wager Talk, after you make your first purchase of $12 or more, just email support@Wager Talk, put your username in there. We'll give you a $50 sign-up bonus. This is to new clients after your first $12 purchase or more at Wager Talk. It's just our way of saying thank you and welcome onto the Wager Talk team. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.com.